InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Hello and welcome, race fans, to Daytona International Speedway for Real Sim Racing's Asphalt Assault Series season opener, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. I am Dakota Ehrman, joined by Michael Keaton, Adam Gill, and Josh Harbison. Those two on pit road. Darren Ganji will join us just in a few. John Westling is pushing the buttons on the camera. Eventually, I'll be able to talk, right? And I believe that's all we have for the crew tonight. Looking for a good race here at Daytona International Speedway, and a long one at that. 80 laps here tonight, Keaton.
Yeah, 80 laps, Daytona International Speedway. What a track to kick it off. You know, the Asphalt Assault Series tonight, the TV series. Again, presented by Inside Sim Racing. And Dakota, you know, these guys had a little bit of chance to get used to the track Monday night in the Full Throttle Cup Series, seeing as if more than the majority of folks here tonight race in that series, and then they have a chance here tonight again to go back to the drawing board to see if they can come out with a win. Of course, last week, or Monday night, the win going to Mike Montesi, with Abbott finishing second. But who knows, could be a different story tonight.
Yeah, and Justin Wilson and Guy Snyder came home third and fourth in that race, with R.J. Williams and Doug Roth in tail. Rhett McBride was seventh, with Ronnie Potts in eighth there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and Chris Cable finishing ninth. You know, Chris put on a pretty good show, but got shuffled back towards the end of the race, hurt his chances of winning his first race with RSR, and then Joseph Hayes finishing in the top 10 there in 10th spot. So, again, tonight, who knows? Daytona International Speedway, it's always a different surprise. I'm looking for anybody, like we mentioned before the broadcast started off air, anybody's race tonight. There's 39 drivers so far, 36 taking time. Matthew Long, get this, Matt is the man right now fastest. Only 3 drivers hitting the 45.9s. Matt Long, Jason Peterson, and Eric Arnold. So anybody's race tonight, Dakota.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I think we've seen it time and time again, especially with this tandem. It really is anybody's race. Anybody can be up front, anybody can be in the rear, anybody can get wrecked also. That's the risk you take coming to Daytona International Speedway. But going to go ahead and bring in Darren Ganji right now. Darren, glad to have you here tonight for the season opener for the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series at Daytona.
Thanks, Dakota. Great to be here, and looking forward to seeing some great racing out of these guys this season. Man, you guys got a long season here, 36 races, am I right?
Yeah, for sure. It is a long season, but it's going to be a good season. I'm really looking forward to it. I know Keaton is. Wesley Outland unable to make it tonight. I know he's also looking forward to it. But Darren, I'm going to go ahead and let you talk about Inside Sim Racing just a little bit here.
Well, if you're not familiar with it, Inside Sim Racing's a show about sim racing. We've had it on YouTube now for about 5 years. Myself and my partner Sean Cole, and every week we've got different shows about either reviews, sim racing related. We have a show that called This Week Inside Sim Racing, where talk about a variety of topics. Matter of fact, we just mentioned this series, so if you guys watch the next show, you guys will hear a plug for this series, and we mention it and tell our viewers to tune in. So, yeah, check it out at, actually got a new URL, isrtv.com or InsideSimRacing.tv.
All right, and Darren, I know that we have some prizes on the line for the season, I believe?
Yeah, you know, like I was mentioning there, we review products, you know, both on the hardware end and software, and so Sean and I have got a few things that we can give away. One is a Rennsport wheel stand that's from Fanatic, and pretty much any wheel and pedal set can be adapted to it, and it's definitely a solid piece. and we'll be shipping that to probably whoever you guys choose. Not sure how you guys are going to select that, but and then we also have a Derek Spear Track Boss button box that Derek's going to send out directly from his establishment. But I'd like to thank him for donating that as well. So yeah, some cool prizes.
Without a doubt, and Darren, I know it's extremely early. It's a plate track. Anything can happen, and we're only just a few minutes in the pre-race. But do you have a pick to win tonight?
At a track like this, man, it's you guys know it's a crapshoot. Guys at the top of the grid right now looking good. Matthew Long, Jason Patterson, Eric Arnold. If they can qualify on the on the front of the grid and stay up there, maybe one of those guys has a good shot. But lots of drivers out here, so it could be anybody's win tonight.
All right, thank you, Darren. And Darren will be sticking with us most of the broadcast. I believe all the broadcast. It's going to be fun to have him along with us in the broadcast booth for this race at Daytona International Speedway. It's set to be a good one, right, Keaton?
Oh, absolutely. And while we still got some time, Darren, I'm looking at the site that you mentioned, ISR TV, InsideSimRacing.tv. You've got a thing that I like. It's kind of like eBay to a degree. You have that buy and sell sim gear. It's kind of like a one-stop shop for a lot of these iRacing folks and other sim racing games as well. It's just not geared towards iRacing, like you mentioned. It's all types of racing, simulations and stuff like that. But it's kind of neat because it's kind of a building block, I guess you could call it, because eBay is one of those things where there's so much loose information out there that you can just get caught up in, but buying something from another sim racer is always best. You know that it's taken care of. So I like kind of what you're doing there with that sort of feature.
Yeah, thanks. We try to consider our site a resource center. At least we do our best to, and that basically links to a section on our forums. And that it gets a lot of action there. Guys are in there looking for stuff or buying stuff, and we've had that up there for probably about 2 years now, and the people in the sim racing community are just, for the most part, so helpful and honest. We have not had one complaint from anybody having any problems with buying or selling stuff in that area. So yeah, along with that, tips on hardware, on what to get if you're building a PC, and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out our forums, because it's definitely a good resource for sim racing of any kind, from consoles, arcade stuff, all the way up to iRacing, everything in iRacing.
And of course, too, Dakota, looking, and Darren, you got tech tips, driving tips, getting started, like you mentioned, the high tech, sound tech, video tech, wheel tech, all kinds of information. And like I said, this is a one-stop pit stop, if you will, for information galore, from buying and selling gear, interviews, technical stuff, wheel stands, computer racing, Xbox racing, PS3 racing, that's my category, baby. Forums, like you mentioned, current news, and all kinds of interviews. And I love the Inside Racing Sim TV that you got going on, the Week Inside Sim Racing. It's very, very informative. Facebook is lit up with it all the time, with YouTube videos. I watch them from time to time, and I know people spread it around like wildfire. It's just one of those good racing websites, a good resource information website, Dakota.
Yeah, and this improve how to, I believe it was something about improving how you drive, or learning how to drive a little bit in iRacing and the sim racing community. Maybe something Keaton might want to look into a little bit.
Hey, any information I can get, I'll try to get and try to characterize it on the track, but I try to stay off the racetrack as much as possible, and tend to want to watch them.
Speaking of that, the person that was on the track this Tuesday night, was Michael Keaton, who snuck away with the pole for the ETB the Serie season opener. And that was it was a pretty good race to watch, and hoping that a lot of people come back next week, because we had a lot of real sim racing guys in there. I believe we had 2 teams made up of real sim racing, and it is a lot of fun to watch. I think we had 2 cautions at Daytona. It was rather interesting.
Absolutely, and of course, Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch this league that you're about to watch here tonight, the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, sponsored by the Bob Earl Racing Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the ETV Live Team Series Racing, which is sponsored by HD Radio Network, which is what Dakota we just mentioned. Wednesday night, the Eastern Canadian Tim Terry, I like to call it, Maritime iRacing Short Track Racing League. And then, of course, tonight, it's the Asphalt Assault Series, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. And, of course, Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Super Speedway Cup Series, a whole lineup. Dakota, nearly every night there's something going on here at ETV Live.
I think there is every night here, at least for John Westlingham. He's always booked the cameraman himself. He's here. But I'll tell you what, why don't we bring in our pit reporters here? I know we have Joshua kind of hanging around. Adam's here for sure. Adam, man, what are you expecting tonight?
V-Car always tends to put on a great show here at Daytona. They're a little bit down on horsepower compared to the Cup car, but it makes for more pack racing, less of the tandem that you used to see before NASCAR came out, the new Gen 6 car. But there's going to be a lot of pack racing tonight, potential for a big one since everyone's grouped together. But overall, from a racing standpoint, you can't get much better at Daytona. In the day, it puts on a really great show.
Now, what do these drivers want to do when they get hot? They're in a big pack, like you said, and they've got really no way to cool down the engines.
Well, you run minimum tape here, at least most people do, just so you can push longer for the times that you do need the tandem. But for the times that you're in the pack, it's going to be hard to make a clean flop if you have a partner going into the race. But for the start of this race, if I were in the driver's seat, I'd pack race, keep the motor cool, and save it for the end when you need a strong push to get to the checkered flag.
And there's one of our pit reporters. You'll be hearing from him all night tonight on Pit Road. Adam Gillen doing a fantastic job. He's also going to be joining us tomorrow for Super Speedway Cup, and also Sunday night he will be in the broadcast booth calling a V-Car race at Phoenix for WSU Motorsports. And now we're going to bring in Joshua Harbison. Josh, coming back from vacation family. Josh, what are you expecting to see tonight on Pit Road wise?
On Pit Road, I expect either 2 to no tire stops most of the time, and mostly gas. That's what I'm hearing.
All right, and again, you can hear from him just kind of randomly. He's coming back from vacation. Nice to have you back, Josh.
It's good to be back.
All right, now as we're getting set, I believe we have about a minute till the national anthem. So we're gonna go ahead and actually talk about the track facts here. So I got a track hot sheet in front of me here. It was last repaved in 2010. Daytona was, and it's been an interesting track since it was repaved. Before that, it was extremely bumpy, and you couldn't really tandem. And I think since they repaved the track, it's made this tandem just about everything here at Daytona International Speedway. Keaton.
Yeah, and tonight I think, Dakota, we're going to see some pack racing. Monday night, I thought we were going to see that tandem deal. We saw a lot of pack racing. These guys are very patient. This league of drivers are very patient. They won't do the tandem swap. They'll actually stay out in front, and then they'll let someone else come up and bring in the tandem swap. So it's one of those things where I think it's going to be a lot of pack racing, but we could possibly see some tandems break out from time to time if this thing were to go green flag and get some green flag pit stops in.
All right, and now in front of the 160,785 people at Daytona International Speedway, we're going to go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in
as the field begins the grid. Now we go trackside for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
And now, as the field is about getting set to roll, we have the grid set. It will be Chad Cole on the pole with a 49.883. He's going to get it by 0.04 of a second over C.J. LeVere in the 4, making up the front row.
Third fastest in qualifying, the 94 machine, Eric Brundage to his outside, the double deuce, the 22 of John Milwane.
How about Nick Silver is going to be starting in the 5th position with Eric Arnold, the Navy nuke himself, in 6th position.
The 7th place car belongs to the 7th, or excuse me, the 7th place car belongs to the 7 car of Here Comes Bobby Terrell out of the RSR Outlaw Truck Series. Outside him, the 99 of Matthew Long.
How about Jose Gonzalez in 9th with Mark Bradshaw on his outside?
Hunter Davis in the 39 machine rolls off 11th tonight, and Glenn Campbell rolling off 12th.
Yeah, Clint Monahan's going to be 13th with Doug Fleming in 14th.
J. Randall Watkins, 15th fastest on the board tonight in the 27 machine to his outside, the 33 of Mr. Excitement himself, David Lanza.
Brian Lovingood in 17th position with Jason Lester on his outside in the 92 machine.
Jason Patterson in the 23 machine rolls off 19th tonight to his outside, the 81 Chevrolet of Steven Almendo.
Rhett McBride will make up the 21st position with the 84 of Jimmy North in 22nd position on his outside.
23rd position tonight in the 50 machine, Pew McGuire to his outside, the 67, a regular here in the RSR Outlaw Truck or RSR Asphalt Assault Series, Brian Harvey.
And Scott Brotherton going to be 25th position with John Wilco in 26th.
John Abbott, the man who heads the series, starting 27th tonight to his outside, the 69 machine of Augusto Gabaldino.
Douglas Wide in 29th with Jason Campbell in 30th. Those two rolling off a little late. They're going to go to the rear of the field, opting to pull over in the pit stalls as the field went by.
31st tonight, 54 machine, Frank Kuntz to his outside, the 32 position car, the 88 of Adam Roberts.
Nathan Bauer will start 33rd with Stephen Marinac in 34th.
Doug Rolfe brings up the next row, fell into qualify, and then Joey Hilton also fell into qualify in the 40 machine.
Actually, Wyatt Wolf Jr. in front of Doug Roth, and then it's Doug Roth, then it's Joey Hilton, Wyatt Wolf, Stephen Herring, and John Ehlers rounding out the field.
So it appears, Dakota, 40 drivers. 40 drivers taking the field tonight in the RSR Asphalt Assault TV series presented by Inside Sim Racing. And again, the pole sitter, the fastest man on the racetrack as it stands currently, Chad Cole, going to bring us to the green flag. Look at him sporting that 21 machine tonight, Dakota.
Yeah, he is actually driving for Matt Lacrosse. Matt Lacrosse in the Army got called to duty, I guess, and last second. I know he wasn't too excited about it, but he did get the man behind the wheel for him, that's for sure.
So here we go, pace and speed, 70 miles an hour, pace car down pit road, the 21, Chad Cole, green flag in the air with the 80 laps on the board here tonight, Daytona International Speedway, and so far, everything looking good.
DJ Laver's going to jump right in line with Chad Cole real early. That looks like they kind of maybe worked that out together there so that the 21, the 4 now hooked up. And by the way, I think so Darren Rashawn Cole down there giving the green flag.
Now this is kind of go time, if you will, Adam Gillen. These guys not particularly near their drafting partners, if you will, but they'll hook up with anybody, and then we'll start to see some separation here. But Adam, what can we expect in the very early stages of a Daytona-type race like this, where tandem's so important and where draft pacing is so important?
Yeah, you're going to just see, hopefully we'll see people be patient because we want to get a green flag running, put on a good show, but mostly right now you'll see pack racing. Maybe towards the end you'll see tandems, but they're just hopefully biding their own, just riding it out right now until the end of this race when it's go time.
And up front it is Chad Cole still leading the way with C.J. Oliveira on his bumper. They're kind of glued together, but we have another tandem kind of closing on them. That is Eric Brundage in the 94 machine in 3rd position, and Nick Silver in the number 30 in 4th position, kind of catching, looking like they go to the outside lane, but can they make anything work here? As I'm sure the 4 is actually getting a little hot in 2nd position. He might actually back off here soon or have to switch here soon.
So far, Dakota, it looks like everybody's still in that lead draft as we're about 3 laps into this race, all the way back here to the 69 machine in 36th place belonging to Augusto. He's in that lead pack, but behind them, Hunter Davis in no man's land by himself at Daytona, and then on back the 54 machine in the 9 of Doug Roth hooked up on the backstretch going into turn 3, running in the 37th and 38th position, way off pace here early on.
They're going to go down to pit road with Josh Harbison, and Josh and John Wilkos have some kind of electrical problems on the car.
They keep trying to fire it up, and the battery keeps going out. So they're trying to get the backup on it. Probably going to switch the primary right now.
There you have it, John Wilco having a few problems there, but up front is a battle for the lead. Looks like, I believe it is Nick Silver and his partner and Eric Brundy's working the outside. It looks like they're going to get clear at Cole, and it's going to make 2 new leaders on the racetrack. Will Brundy's and Silver switch here, though, is the question.
Yeah, of course, Eric Brundy's out of the Midwest sporting that 94 white Chevrolet tonight. To his back door is the 30 of Nicholas Silver. As caution, big jump, big wreck. Turn 2, Dakota, big one. Already kind of look that happened back into the 20th spot there. Still wrecking on the backstretch.
Looking to see where it started with. I do want to say it involved the David Lanza machine, the 33, and the 28 of Doug Fleming. 14th position Doug Fleming in the 28. When he was going to turn 3, it looks like he was up next to the wall, and David Lanza kind of turns him down, and it gets plowed from behind by Jimmy North.
David Lanza involved again. Doug Fleming, as you mentioned, the 56, the 98. Joey Hilton in the 40 machine, 84 of Jimmy North. It happened mid-pack, if you will, back in 14th position. And it just kind of looked like it got into the wall a little bit, and Lanza just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and it's sounding like, well, I'm here for George Wood, Lanza might be done, so we might get a report from that when we go down to pit road here in just a second.
Of course, that is the first caution. Lap number 5 here completed now at Daytona International Speedway. As the man that's currently out front, Eric Brundy's. Eric was 7th fastest in practice and put it 3rd quickest in qualifying, and now runs first to the help of Nick Silver in that 30 machine. And, you know, Nick in that Icebreaker Winter Series, Dakota, put on a heck of a show, almost winning that championship.
He did a fantastic job, but the guy that actually did win the championship, he's sitting back in 3rd position, so it's kind of like an ongoing rivalry. They can't get away. And did I mention Chad Cole? He's not even running this series full time. So I mean, he's just out here to get points for his buddy Matt Lacrosse.
So with that said, let's turn the tables here a little bit to Darren Ganji, who's joining us tonight in the broadcast of, again, the RSR Asphalt Assault TV series presented by Inside Sim Racing. You're watching ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network. Darren Ganji. So, Inside Sim Racing TV, again, there's some prizes being awarded for this league, this series here that we're seeing tonight. And there can only be one champion, but there can be multiple winners.
Yeah, you guys, great racing so far up to that caution, man. That was pretty interesting to see those 2 tandems pull out, and then the pack caught them. But yeah, great to be here. Great to be supporting this series. And yeah, like you mentioned, we got 2 prizes that we're going to be giving away, or that we helped get for this series. One is the Derek Spear Designs Track Boss button box, and then we have a Rensport wheel stand that we're going to give away. So yeah, great to be here, great to be part of the series, and looking forward to seeing some great racing.
Now,
trouble on pit road actually here. Yeah, guys, we're here in just momentarily going to interrupt you guys here. And Treble on pit road, and Adam Gillen has more.
Yeah, it looks like the 40 tried making his way into his pit stall and clipped Jimmy North in his right of the 84 car, actually, in the Jimmy Johnson scheme. Spun him around. Doesn't look to do any more damage than it was already done for that first caution, but another update. Most of the leaders stayed out as anticipated, but the only cars that pitted were the damaged cars from the first wreck.
And I tell you, Dakota, couldn't have went worse for Jimmy North here tonight. He is the birthday boy as well. Jimmy North celebrating another birthday, another year, another age. The 84 machine, Jimmy North, not going to be able to get his birthday wish tonight, which was probably more than likely a victory. He's down on pit road, as Adam mentioned, and but I tell you what, just a typical RSR fashion.
Unfortunate. But gonna go ahead and once again, I know you guys were talking there. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but gonna let you guys get back at it.
Oh, I was just, Darren, these rigs, man, they're coming more and more noteworthy. A lot of these drivers currently in some sort of racing rig right now. There's so many that these guys can look at. You have, like, on your website where you have the Sim Rig of the Week. You got Sim Racing Rig reviews, the wheel stand reviews. So many and more people nowadays are starting to go with this, Darren. They're wanting these cockpits. They're wanting these wheel stands and that sort of thing. The desk is the old news.
Yeah, that's where I started and hurt my back racing races like this at a desk for many years, and ended up building myself one. We have shows about building your own rig. Sean and I put together a rig with scrap wood that we had sitting under his car, and it cost us less than $100. We had a seat sitting there too, but yeah, we have over 20 rig reviews. Man, we're probably coming up on 30 rig reviews now at our site. All these guys that are manufacturing these rigs have sent it to us. Bob Earl, one of your guys' sponsors, we actually had him in the studio, interviewed him. Great guy. I don't know if you guys know, he's ex IMSA racer from the 80s. He was pretty awesome. But yeah, we got and this, like you said, the Sim Rig of the Week. You actually can go on our forums and post pictures of your rig, get ideas for other rigs. So yeah, lots of great stuff there and like I said earlier, like a great resource center.
Yeah, and speaking of Bob Earl, he does sponsor the Monday Night Full Throttle Cup Series here with Real Sim Racing. It has a Mark II virtual racing seat that he gives out at the end of the season. Last season it was Landon Huffman taking that seat. Fantastic seat, and he was extremely excited about it. And I remember hearing him say that. But yeah, he does it. And who better to design one than an old or what was a race car driver? I mean, he knows comfort in the race car,
Yeah, absolutely, Dakota. Bob Earl coming on board with the Full Throttle Cup Series on Monday night. Of course, last year, 2012, again, Landon Huffman bringing that home. And I'm sure Landon's probably posted a picture or some sort of review on the Inside Sim Racing TV website. And if you're out there looking for anything, that is the one-stop pit stop, if you ask me, for Inside Sim Racing needs and reviews and wants and videos, all kinds of information there, again, that you can get your eyes on. And pace car leading the field into turn 2 now. Currently, Dakota, looks like we're going to go back green. We ran a couple of laps under caution. I know these guys are fighting at the wheel to get back to green flag racing. Daytona is one of those racetracks that you just don't want to cruise around. It takes about 2.5 minutes to get around this racetrack under a pace lap, and only about 50 seconds to 49 seconds to get around it in the draft and green flag conditions.
Yeah, and it is extremely long pace laps. Extremely long. I mean, especially sitting in the car for 4 or 5 laps. When you're going 2-minute laps or pacing, that is a long time to sit in the car. That's for sure. Especially if you're just waiting to get back racing. If you're up front, you're a little anxious, maybe waiting for this restart. It's going to be interesting here.
And of course, this is the Assault series, the Asphalt Assault series, which does a little thing different than the Full Throttle Cup Series. There's no chase, so the points start tonight. This is it, Daytona, race 1. And then you've got Phoenix next week, and as Darren mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, 36 weeks. If you're not on your A-Day game tonight, the next week, the week after that at Vegas, and then, of course, Bristol coming up, you've got to be on your A-Day game because there is no chase. The points start tonight. What you make tonight is what you bring next week and next week after that.
Yeah, without a doubt, as the field gets set, they're coming down the line. There goes the pace cars off. They're getting set to go green flag racing. It's Eric Brundy's leading them to the green flag with Nick Silver on his outside. Looks like Jack Holt's going to right to his bumper, start pushing him right away. But will Brundy stay on the inside, or will he go for his partner in Nick Silver?
At the line, 34 drivers now being shown on the lead lap. 35th, Hunter Davis on back to Adam Roberts, and 40th are one or more laps down as the field brings us through turn 2. Double file in 3rd and 4th place. As C.J. LeVere is holding 3rd, Nicholas Silver 4th back there in that orange-looking Chevrolet, being pushed by the man, the Navy Nuke, Eric Arnold, out there as the leader now left out to drive. The 21 of Cole and LeVere take off in 3.
Yeah, he's got no help in it. When he does get help, it won't be enough. He won't have enough time. It's going to be those two on the outside that are going to prevail, and they've got help also. They've got Eric Arnold and although it's Nicholas Silver working on the outside, so they might have the momentum. They're going to take the first 4 spots there.
And it looks like the top 4, almost the top 5, making it single file as they all rocket down the front stretch into turn 1. Back behind them, though, finally, Eric Brundy hooks up with someone. It's the 99 machine. The 99 belongs to Matthew Long. Matt was the fastest in practice, Dakota, and if there's one guy out there that I want to be tandemed up with, it's probably Matthew Long.
If there's a guy I want to be tandem up with, it's Jose Gonzalez. How about 9th position in the 26 machine? He's right behind the bumper of the 7. Looks like he might be able to get up to the 7 of Bobby Terrell. And Bobby, I mean, didn't he make a fantastic run in the Outlaw Truck Series?
Absolutely. You know, we started to call him Here Comes Bobby because every time when the race would almost come to an end, here come Bobby. All the time. He would either get up there 3rd, 2nd, couldn't hardly win a race, but I tell you, he made it exciting. And nearly won the championship in the RSR Outlaw Truck Series on Thursday nights that we had during the break before this big race kicked off tonight. And, of course, Monday night, the opening of the Full Throttle Cup Series. But, yeah, Bobby Terrell, he's another one of those guys that we may have a 3-wide racing adventure coming down the backstretch here, as we do.
Yeah, we do. We've got some people on the outside. We've got Nicholas Silver on the inside. We have Chad Cole and C.J. LeVere on the inside, the way inside.
Nicholas Silver, the man in the bullet there in the middle, the 47 of Eric Arnold underneath, the 99 up high. Silver, no drafting help, but he's doing it all by himself. So is Eric Arnold on the bottom.
Brundy's, he's got help though. Brundy's on the very outside. Looks like they're still 3 wide. And what happens here when we go 3 wide is they're going to have the aerodynamic change here. It's like usually the inside lane or the middle lane takes off and the other lanes slow down dramatically here, as we're seeing now. Nicholas Silver coming all the way on the inside and middle lane by himself. He's going to come through and nearly clear the leaders here, and he might actually clear the leaders. This is the advantage you have when you're going 3 wide. This is middle lane seems to just take off, and everybody else gets like a parachute effect.
And now he's hooked up with Mark Bratcher in the 24 machine, the ETV Live Studios Chevrolet out there. 3 wide in turn 3, 2 deep as Eric Arnold trying to pitch it somewhere and put it in there in the middle. He can't quite get there on the back door of Bratcher as they exit 4. 3 wide. Now let's talk to Adam Gillen. Adam, you know about this draft pack racing. Let's talk about oil temps. Let's talk about water temps. These guys are starting to probably see a little bit of blinking going on. Does the water get heated first, or is it the oil that these guys are mainly concerned about at first?
Initially, it's the water, but after you cool off the water, if you don't get enough air to the front of the car, the radiator, eventually the oil will start flashing, and you're going to definitely have to get out if that happens, because it'll blow up quicker if you have your oil hotter than your water, that's for sure. Right now, these guys are probably experiencing, like you said, flashing temperatures. They're probably wanting to get out of the draft, peaking at every opportunity they get, and just trying to keep that motor for the end of this race.
As Chad Cole still leads on lap 14 of the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series season opener at Daytona International Speedway with C.J. LeVere in tail. But how about on the outside, it's the 47 to Eric Arnold, the Navy Nuke, with help from the 24, Mark Bratcher.
Absolutely. Eric Arnold out there running with Bratcher. You know, Bratcher not the quickest in practice, 10th quickest in qualifying, pushing Eric Arnold to the lead in turn 3, as we just saw C.J. LeVere having to let off the throttle of Chad Cole. probably desperately needing to switch with Chad as Nicholas Silver starts to rocket a charge up on the outside out of 4. The 7 machine, meanwhile, Bobby Terrell, he's trying to look with someone to go as he still stays the bottom. And Dakota, Daytona is one of those racetracks where, you know, you're either going to be on the bottom line or you're going to be on the high side for a long period of time unless these guys can start breaking free. And it looks like the leader's making a swap, maybe trying to break free as the 47. Eric Arnold tags the 24 Bratcher.
Oh, God.
Collecting Cole.
And Cole saves it. He comes on. There he goes. There goes Terrell, I believe, in the 7. Yeah, Bobby Terrell's around. Eric Arnold, Chad Cole, J. Randall Watkins, John Milwayne going around.
Now that started up there in second place with a tandem swap, and that's one thing that can be so dangerous. We'll talk about that in a minute, but Eric Arnold was doing a tandem swap with Bratcher, came down, tagged him a little bit, Dakota, and got loose, came down on Cole, and Cole went up the racetrack, and basically the domino accordion effect there.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate turn of events there for sure.
You know, let's talk tandem swaps here. You know, they can be so dangerous, guys. I mean, you know, you want to be so quick with it because you want to get back behind them. And, you know, the spotter tells you you're clear, and all it takes is an inch. You know, all it takes is just a couple of inches to you know, hit that right rear quarter panel or hit that bumper wrong, and that's what we saw there. We saw not really him getting into the quarter panel of Eric Arnold, but more or less getting into an uneven bump with the back end of his car there, which sent him around. And there's really nothing you can do at that point. You know, Eric came down low, and we thought Chad Cole was going to clear the accident, but he ended up either overcorrecting it or coming up on the track. But tandem swaps can be very dangerous.
They can be, and I'll tell you what, right now Eric and Chad are not happy going back and forth with each other, and Eric is saying he got loose there, so I think there's a lot of different points you can see this. If you can see it as a spectator, you're going to see it a little bit differently, but I believe we have some takers on pit road. Nicholas Silva, Chris Monahan, and Eric Brunny is leading them down, the first 3 cars to come down, and we're going to throw them down to Adam and Josh.
Eric Arnold down on pit road. Some damage repair he's going to have to fix. Started that little chain of events. Like you said, trying to make the swap with Mark Bratcher. Got tangled up and led to a pretty significant wreck. He's on pit road right now getting damage repaired. He hasn't taken any tires yet, but if he wants to get back out there, he's going to need some tires after doing a few circles.
That was I was watching Chad Cole when he came in. He took 4 tires and the crew went to work. They had to repair the damage on his car, and he got fueled. He went back out. They expect to see him back here before this caution's over for some more damage repair.
Let's talk the leader, Dakota. Mark Bratcher, nicknamed Hollywood. Mr. Hollywood out there running up front now, able to escape the carnage there that Eric Arnold presented to the field. Running the Logitech G27, also has a place seat with a 27-inch LED monitor. 36 years of age. He's been racing since 1995. Former NASCAR Racing 2003 League Open Speedway champion. iRacing was in the GSR Truck Series and former team member of Team GSR. And he's hoping to win or at least compete for championships in the Nationwide Cup Series. And out of Georgia, Mark Bratcher out front here early on at Daytona International Speedway, Dakota.
Yeah, and he is our Derek Spear Designs in-race reporter tonight. And Mark Bratcher, you got a copy. This is Dakota Herman up at the broadcast booth.
Hey, buddy, how y'all doing?
All right, Mark, man, what was up with the strategy there to stay out and stay in front of the field and you know, still have to pit?
Well, we're coming in pit road right here. My teammate, he was lapped down, so he's going to be in the back of the field now. So we're going to drop to the back and get 4 fresh Goodyears and full tank of fuel, and we're going to drop to the back with him and pull him to the front. We wanted to stay out. You know, we're points racing tonight, so we wanted to stay out and lead a lap and get them bonus points.
And what's the fuel strategy for you here and later on also?
Well, right now, you know, when we initially started, we were going to pit around lap 45, and we knew we could go the distance then. But now, you know, with this caution coming out and pitting on 18, we're probably just going to run it till until we get out, you know, about empty of a tank, and hope for another caution to come out. You know, with these cautions, we're pretty much throwing the fuel strategy out the window.
And you started 10th and had worked your way up to the top 2 with that before that caution. What is your secret to trying to work to this draft and not be taken out and you know, just be in the right place in the right time?
Well, I think the secret to this is going to be luck, and we just displayed all the possible luck we could get in a race just then, because that wreck happened right. I mean, I saw it in the rearview mirror. So now dropping to the back, it's going to be about patience, and we're gonna work up to the front real slow.
All right, Mark, and we wish you the best of luck here later on in the race. And again, that is our Derek Spirit Design Sand Race reporter.
And with him doing that move, it puts the man out of California, Nicholas Silver, up into the lead, the 21-year-old, part of Silver Team Racing. And he's using the old thing the old deal that you used to use, Darren, the desk, the wheel, the pedal shifter, monitor, and speakers, part of the cockpit set. But that's the same with me. I've got the old desk too. The keyboard pull out, put the steering wheel on there and with my G25 and go with it.
Hey man, if that works, man, that's, you know, you can still win races that way, no question about it. As long as you're comfortable.
And of course,
and you know, we're trying to talk Bob Earl into making a broadcasting seat. Maybe we can talk to Darren Ganji and have him talk to some of his buddies and get us some other equipment, right?
I can see what I can do.
Also running second right now, Dakota Clint Monahan. I believe that was Adam Gilliland's pick here tonight. Of course, he's out of Tifton, Georgia, driving that one machine, the blue machine that you see out there. He's got on a Butto G27 with an SST shifter. Clint Monahan out there running second currently.
And again, the fastest man in practice, Matthew Long. He's sitting in third in the 99 machine.
Of course, Adam Gilliland joining us on pit road tonight. Adam, you know, let's talk Clint Monahan here for a second. Up in second position, 32nd quickest in practice, 13th in qualifying. But he's moved that Chevrolet up into the second position. He's got Nicholas Silver, a man who knows what he's doing, up there beside him.
Yeah, Clint always is a front runner. I believe he was actually a pro a year or two back. He's got a lot of talent. He might not have been the quickest on the practice charts, but he always seems to find his way to the front as he's running second right now. I don't believe he's came down pit road this race. I don't know if he's going to have to stop for fuel, but I anticipate him to be around at the end of the race, as he was my pick in the pre-race.
Absolutely, yeah. Clint has made the first two iRacing Pro Series, so obviously the man with Team Big Dingy Racing knows exactly what he's doing.
As the field paces through 3 and 4, I'm sure he does know what he's doing, and then we'll see exactly what he can do on this restart. Now, I think things have changed. People are in different places. Pit strategy kind of played a role. There was a wreck that took out quite a few good cars. We're going to see what happens here on the restart as they work down the front stretch now as the pace car prepares to dive off.
Statistician down there tonight, George Wood, telling us 31 race car drivers currently on the lead lap. Again, 40 taking the field tonight, but the 30 bringing us to the green flag for the third time tonight. Lap 20 going to be complete with 60 to go at the line as Clint Monahan tries to pull the trigger on the outside, but the 99 is going to team up with Silver for the lead in turn 1.
Silver goes with long run on his bumper there. It's going to be them two getting hooked up. A pretty good run, maybe running away here a little bit, but Clint Monahan trying to work on the outside. He's got help from the 44, but is it enough help? And that's Glenn Campbell, the Rhinestone Cowboy, as Wesley likes to call him.
Absolutely. You can kind of see a different strategy starting to play out here, Dakota, as these guys starting to tandem up real early. They've already found a drafting partner, and you know, you gotta work with anybody on the racetrack. You know, your partner may be in the back. We saw earlier where there was a situation where Mark Bratcher came down pit road to get back there with Hunter Davis, I believe, or one of his teammates, and you know, up in the front early on, you just kind of got to work with whoever's up there. until your teammate can either work their way up through the field or you work their way back as the leader, Clint Monahan, takes over the field in turn 1.
Well, there's Adam's pick, but he's going to get left. Kind of looks like the 44 is trying to get on the outside like he's hot, and Monahan's trying to stay out there with him. So it looks like they might go back a little bit because here comes the run from the 30 and the 99 of Silver and Matthew Long.
Side by side down the backstretch, nearly 195 miles an hour. Nick Silver taking the lead back over, but last time by Clint Monahan for the first time tonight in the Photo Racing cockpit. Took the lead, and now he suffers back into 3rd position as there's a car way down low underneath the apron. He'll stay out of the way.
And John Abbott having electrical issues on the track, and he's in the middle of the pack there. The 41 nailed the wall. That was 10th position. That was like last time by he nailed the wall, but right now it's John Abbott seemed like he has the most problems. A lot of electrical problems on the machine, running 9th position right now.
Side by side still, Dakota. You see this pack racing. I mean, this is what it's all about. Daytona International Speedway with the RSR Assault TV series here tonight. Look at the 41 machine starting to make his way up towards the front. John Ehlers, the man out of California as well, sporting that black Chevrolet tonight, working with the 50 machine of McGuire there. And look who's up also now in the field. 38, Rhett McBride. You remember him from the Outlaw Truck Series?
Yeah, a lot of familiar names kind of coming up here from other series, and it's the big mix of series. It seems like with this Asphalt Assault series, it's been a very anticipated series, and I think it's living up to its description.
Again, you're watching ETV's live coverage of the RSR Asphalt Assault TV series presented by Inside Sim Racing, and of course, powered ETV Live by the HD Radio Network, home of the ETV Live Radio. The HD Radio Network gives you a variety of stations to choose from, including the big 80s metal, all the HDR classics, all the HDR country, and a whole lot more. Take your pick and rock your brains out. HD Radio Network stations are featured on iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and also listed in the Windows Media Guide. Listen today from HDRadioNetwork.com or take it with you and get the mobile app today from TuneIn.com.
Douglas Wyatt in the 12 car going all the way to the outside above the 50 now. He's kind of sitting in 10th position, and the 81 gets turned. Steven Alvindo turned around in front of the whole field. Big wreck.
It looks like the 81 machine running 11th position, Dakota. Looks like he got into the wall.
And he kind of came down, and it looks like just a lot of net code turned him around there.
And then the 25 getting collected up in that. A lot of race car drivers going way below the yellow line there. Of course, no penalized from that. Jason Campbell also being involved. That is not the Jason Campbell quarterback that played at Auburn University years ago that now plays for the Redskins. It's Jason Campbell out of Carolina. And he is involved in that wreck. And it looks like Jason Patterson, who's way off pace, was also one of the unlucky ones.
Unfortunately, as Adam Gilliland and Michael Keaton having a private conversation about baseball, I guess. Same thing.
Yeah. So back under caution here again.
Yeah, so we're going to wait here and see if anybody comes down pit road. We're working the backstretch. Clint Monahan, still the leader here, so we work almost in number 3 with the pace car leading him.
Now you're making that decision up there. You know, 25 laps into a race. There's 80 on the board. I believe if they came down here, they would. I think they would be. Yeah, I think they'd be a little bit outside their window, Adam.
Yeah, right now it's looking like they're going to be about 10 laps short. Fuel window here is about 45 laps. That's if you fill it all the way up. And pit road's open this time by. We'll have to see if the leaders take evasive action and come down pit road.
Josh, what do you think? You put right sides on if you come down pit road, fill it up with gas, or do you take all 4 tires here and then the next stop, the money stop, with gas only?
If it's me, I'd just 2 tires and fuel just to get that track position. It seems to be really, really important. And
it looks like Douglas Wyatt being one of the first ones down pit road in that 12 machine. He running 8th position down on pit road?
Fuel right side's up on the number 12 machine of Douglas Wyatt. It's looking like 4 tires are going to go on his number 12 machine. He's out and away.
Well, there you have it. But while we're pacing for the 3rd time here tonight in the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series, Michael Keaton, what you got?
Well, CJ Lavera, guys, just pulled into the pit stop, exited the vehicle. Now he's, I know what he's doing. Okay, he's going back into the pit road there, Boxer. He's getting some damage fixed. But Dakota, I thought for a minute CJ was going to pull it behind the garage area. Thought something was done or something was up with the car, but nonetheless, just getting a little bit more damage fixed.
Yeah, well, it was a questionable call, but we'll see whether it pays off. And glad to see you still staying out there and getting back out there to turn some more laps here with the Asphalt Assault Series here with Real Sim Racing. But while we're pacing for the 3rd time, we're gonna go ahead, step away, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. You won't miss a thing.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50-caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
And we're back live at Daytona International Speedway, pacing still with Clint Monahan in the lead. And I believe this is our 3rd caution here tonight. We were just talking with Darren Gansey during the break, and Darren, gonna bring you back in, man. What do you think of the race so far?
Pretty good, man. That 3 wide during that that 2nd stint, I think there was, man, those guys were 3 wide for about 3 laps. Really solid race in there. And then those 2 guys pulled ahead, and a guy got loose and took out half the field up front, it seemed. But that's some great racing going on. These guys are, considering it's Daytona, anything can happen. They're holding it together pretty good.
During the break, we were talking a little bit about E3.
Yeah, it's quite a ways off. It's a trade show that we go to every year to cover, and should be seeing stuff like the PlayStation 4 there this year. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of the hardcore PC sim stuff there. It's actually pretty rare, so we're usually covering like the Gran Turismo, Forza, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's always a lot of fun. We have some good friends that we meet up every year there with, and hopefully we'll have some great coverage for you guys there.
Thank you, Darren. And Yeah, and Adam Gillen coming across, I believe, privately, and yeah, talking about Sean Cole. It's going to be at the seminar, I believe, is what it is, in Dallas, Texas, I want to say.
Yeah, it's iRace for Life, and they're putting on another seminar in Dallas. It's next week, actually. He's leaving Wednesday, and 3-day deal, and pretty cool little gathering, man. They have different hardware manufacturers and stuff, and some racing going on. Mainly folks around iRacing, different guys doing some oval tips, road racing, that kind of stuff. So yeah, Sean's going to be there covering it and hanging out with everybody. So should be a good time.
I know David Cater's going to be there giving a little bit of setup up, I believe. And Giller will be there. Adam Gillen on pit road, he'll be there. That's gonna be interesting. And I know that's in Gillen's home, his backyard basically. But as the field works through the front stretch, the pace car gets set to dive off. It is off, and here comes Clint Monahan to take the green flag once again here at Daytona International Speedway. Green flag's out, and he gets a great restart. He's going to clear the field. Looks like he's got really no help right away. This could be bad for him because these guys can be ganged up behind him and just run right around him here. Looks like he might have a little bit of help. Matthew Long on the inside looked like he was going to come up, but Monahan going up a little bit.
Well, I was going to say, if Jason Lester can put that gas pedal down on the floor and catch up to the 44 machine of Glenn Campbell in front of him, those guys might have powered around him. But the 92 of Lester, nonetheless, going a little easy on the throttle on the restart there as the 44 stuck up onto the outside by himself now as the 92 dips down low beneath the 50 as Clint Monahan leading the charge in turn 3 and turn 4. He's got the 99 of Matthew Long. As now Nicholas Silver in the Discover card looks to the outside, sporting the Pepsi Max Chevrolet on the rear as he looks to the outside down the front stretch.
By the way, John Loco, who had electrical problems at the start of the race, he did get the lucky dog last time, and I believe that has put him back on the lead lap. No, he's still one lap down, unfortunately, but he is the first car one lap down, so he's in line for the lucky dog once again. But back up front is Clint Monahan still leading with Matthew Long, I believe that is, right behind him.
That's exactly right, and of course, Real Sim Racing using the iLeagueRace.com software to keep their season going week in, week out. The one-stop shop for iRacing leagues looking for the total website points management systems, custom scoring protocols, complete scheduling and management of series and events, even a blog setup to recap your race, if you will. iLeague Race also provides driver and team sign-ups with integration of APIs such as scoring tickers and points updates. If you have an iRacing league, then you need to check out iLeagueRace.com today.
I know there's several leagues that use that. It's a fantastic service, a fantastic site, and do check it out. Even us as ETV, we actually use it for our ETV series, which runs Tuesday nights.
Still side-by-side racing on the backstretch now. Nicholas Silver's finally found an instant partner. It's the 44 machine, the Rhinestone Cowboy out of Florida, Glenn Campbell, to the outside. Look who's with him. Don Q, the man out of Puerto Rico, Jose Gonzalez now, showing a little bit of muscle up front as he works the back door of Campbell out of 4.
Looks like the outside lane's going to fall back just a little bit. By the time they should be getting a run, it's through the front stretch and the back stretch. They don't have it because they're not hooked up. The inside guys are. I think the inside guys are timing it perfectly. You see the 99's kind of backing off the one there, and that's Matthew Long backing off of Monahan. They're trying to keep cool, and he's doing just perfect timing to back off, cool it down a little bit, and then get back on them to the straightaway. And those guys on the outside aren't timing it quite as well, and so they're kind of losing a little bit of ground here.
Look back here in ninth position, Dakota. Remember at the beginning of the race when I said Doug Roth was way off pace back in about 37th position, 38th position? Well, look at him now. He's in the 9 machine, and he's in ninth currently. And look who's behind him. Teammate John Abbott pushing him in turn 4.
And how about that? I believe Doug Roth, the number is usually in the 43, going to be the 9 tonight.
Yeah, too, Dakota. These guys are, you've got the points battle, of course, for the championship that's about 35 weeks away after tonight. And then you've got, and also another type of points battle that's going on is some teams battling for a little championship, and part of that championship contention is Doug Roth and John Abbott. Both of those guys are on a team together as they race the bottom groove here at Daytona International Speedway. But I told you at the beginning of this race, Dakota, we were going to see a pack racing type race. No tandems tonight. And look at them. They're side by side coming out of turn 4 with the one machine still trying to hang on to the lead.
Yeah, but Nick Silver, he's trying to come on the outside with Glenn Campbell right on the bumper. Here they come with a good run. They're going to be side by side at the line. It looks like Silver's going to lead the lap, but can he actually clear? It looks like they're going to be side by side going into the corner, but they're not quite going to be clear. Almost clear, but not quite. There they go. New leaders. It's the 30 of Silver and the 44 of Glenn Campbell, and they will actually take over the lead here. They can move down the inside lane and protect the inside lane. Once they get down, they're in a pretty good spot.
A lot of these guys so far debating over the radio channels tonight, Dakota, about the high side. They feel like the high side here tonight as they come up on a lap car. Augusto and the 69 machine way up high there, getting out of the way for everybody. Hand out the window signaling, I'm staying high, don't run me over. Another lap car, Bobby Terrell in the 7 machine, hand out the window, don't run me over, as they rocket down the front stretch underneath him. But the preferred line so far on the radio seems to be the high side. And, of course, some guys using the middle line here at Daytona. We've seen some of that 3-wide racing that Darren mentioned for a couple of laps earlier on. But since then, no more 3-wide racing. It's been high side and low side.
I wish we could play back the audio we just had from Jose Gonzalez is on board. And he comes across as a team. You know which line is the fastest? And he responds when they're clueless, the one I'm leading.
Well, that's the man out of Puerto Rico for you, Jose Gonzalez. Jose, man, I tell you, he's always pumped up, you know, when he gets on here and races. I believe right now, currently, Jose is living in Texas, as we have a new leader.
Jose Gonzalez is the new leader with help from the 12 there. They're going to take over, clear the inside. Douglas White and Jose Gonzalez to the front. He wasn't kidding about the line he's in being the fastest. Definitely has a strong car here tonight. With John Loco actually having some more problems, we'll lose a lucky dog spot in the lap he had made up. And here comes Monahan to the outside with help from Nick Silver. They've got the 29 there also kind of following in line. The 29 being Stefan Marinac, and the 4 right behind them is CJ Levere. So about 6 cars right there, nose to tail on the outside lane. They come with a pretty good run on the outside of Jose Gonzalez and Douglas White, but I don't know if I'm clearing quite, but it looks like they're going to get close here with Monahan almost clearing Jose Gonzalez, looking like he wants to come down, but he can't because here comes Jose back on the inside. Going to be side by side, heading back into turn number 1. It sounds like John Wilco has got his car refired and is trying to re-enter the track. Get more on that story later from Josh Harbison, but back up front still it is Jose Gonzalez still side by side with Clint Monahan. Monahan and Silver have the run. It looks like the inside is completely disconnected, and they're going to have some more people behind them coming on the outside with a run. That's going to be Marinac and Levere on the outside that should, you know, basically free up and claim the outside for themselves.
Let's talk more about the sponsored race car Don Q Rum of Puerto Rico, Jose Gonzalez. Raced online in the Papyrus NASCAR 2003 with a joystick. Bought a wheel and got on a team called Late Night Boys, the LNB Fidos. After a year or two, the team stopped racing and he joined Viper Team Racing and changed his name to VRT. He's also raced in the Sim 500 TV series, and his favorite race was when he got to race against the man Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the iRacing service at Bristol. They stayed side by side for 3 laps back-to-back, and Jose finished second and Junior finishing first.
Now tell me that wouldn't be a cool experience racing somebody like that on iRacing.com. That would be, you know, probably make my year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Hearing Adams raced him once, and he ran out of, looks like Hearing Junior ran out of gas on the last lap, which that's happened plenty of times before.
Look on the outside now, Dakota, the 29 machine. Where did Stefan Marinac come from? He's hooked up with Levere, who we saw on pit road blink out, blink back in, getting a little damage fixed as he works the outside, but not strong enough for the inside man of the 30 of Nicholas Silver and the 1 of Clint Monahan. Adam talked about Monahan earlier on tonight. That Chevrolet hooked up quick with Nick Silver.
Yeah, looks like Silver and Monahan hooked up pretty good. I think these two, they have the timing worked out where they can get back to pushing when they need to. They know what they're doing up here. And the 29, Marinac, he's kind of lost his help because Levere's kind of moved out. They go 3 wide. They're going to wreck it back there. Bratcher in it.
That is Hunter Davis, Nathan Bowers, Mark Bratcher. Some guys running 17th position, 11th position.
As Hunter Davis was all the way on his roof, went to pit road a little bit, might get a little penalty there, but looks like Bratcher and Hunter Davis now trying to get down pit road. Davis going to the grass, but still green flag racing, I believe. And it's still Monahan in silver up front, leading the way with Jose Gonzalez and Douglas Wyatt, and the next two cars on the inside. Stephen Marinac.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
We're back live here at Daytona International Speedway. A little bit of difficulty, but we are back in action here. Still green flag racing here at Daytona with Clint Monahan trying to battle for lead on the inside. He's still got silver on it. It's still on his bumper. It was Monahan, or not Monahan, but I can tell you that is a 29. I believe Stephen Marinac on the outside. CJ Oliveira was on his bumper, but just fell off. Keaton.
Yeah, of course, we are a little over halfway home here. And as Adam pointed out earlier, pit road going to get busy pretty quick, and Joshua Harbinson also working on pit road for us tonight. Josh, you know they're getting close to that pit mark, or are we going to see these guys continue to race here until they start running out of fuel, or hoping for that caution flag that's going to send them down and pit under yellow?
The teams are mixed. Some want to stay out and see if they can get that caution, and others, they're just going to stick to their plan because they know if they pit now or whenever their scheduled time is, that they can make it till the end, whether there's a caution or not. So a lot of them aren't going to risk it, and some of them are.
And Adam, what are they saying on your end? Adam's getting Darren in here, and side-by-side racing. Still out front here. But Dakota, we got to talk about pit stop strategy. We heard Josh, some of these guys are kind of talking a little bit different strategies here. But if it's me, you know, I'm staying out until I run out of fuel, and I'm going to try to pit under that caution.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I think a caution would have been extremely good right there. Yeah, caution would have been good right there when they wrecked, but managed to stay green. I think they're all really waiting on a caution. I think that would ensure that they can make it from here. They can make it from here if we get a caution. Green flag stops will make this thing interesting. Who goes in first? You know, because now if anybody pits now, they can make it. They just don't want to lose a lap. That'll put them in the spot where they've got to stay out and then come back from the rear of the field anyway. So it's all about timing here, really, at Daytona International Speedway.
Let's talk about the man who's currently in the number 4 Chevrolet, C.J. LeVere. C.J., of course, out of New York, sponsored by the Hippies Paint Shop. Chevrolet down there that you see with the eyes on the back of that machine. Part of the A. Burnett Motorsports Be Fearless racing team. Been racing for 10 years. Numerous championships won in NASCAR 2003. One championship in the iRacing at RSR. Favorite track, Atlanta, Vegas. A lot of accomplishments, don't even know where to start. He's won a lot of races and met a lot of good people. Over 1,200 starts in iRacing, 750 top 5s, and over 200 wins. It's pretty good stats there, Dakota. Just recently moved up to the A car and B car, and he's looking forward to the 2013 season, putting on some good finishes together to get that top 5 in points, hopefully. And no easy task in the season here, as we're getting underway for the first race of the season in the Asphalt Assault TV series presented by Inside Sim Racing TV.
And those are some fantastic stats to have, without a doubt. But mentioning this was sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV and Inside Sim Racing. Gonna go ahead and talk about them real fast. Bring them back up again. I believe Darren Ganji has left us for the moment, having a few technical difficulties, but he should be back. Sponsoring a Thursday night Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. Inside Sim Racing, your first and best choice for all news and reviews in online motorsports. Join Darren Ganji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation auto racing games for PCs and the Xbox crowd, from steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, updates on popular racing games, and a whole lot more. The yellow pages of online auto racing. Inside Sim Racing has it all. Visit them at www.isrtv.com.
Well, looking back in 11th position, Jason Lester in that number 92 machine. We saw him earlier up front in that Avocare Chevrolet machine. He's on the lead lap, and he's sitting right there on the bubble, Dakota. He might lose the draft. He's got McGuire right in front of him, then the 50 machine as he starts to close back in. So 11 drivers currently on pace speed here. These guys are in pace speed right here, Dakota. The 11th position up to the first place car. Clint Monahan all in the lead time zone.
Yes, cruise control.
Well, the front runners, you know.
Yeah, cruise control. Just riding around. Guys that aren't riding around include Brian Harvey and Chad Cole, 12th and 13th position, working together, tandeming, trying to catch those guys up front, Michael Keaton.
Of course, Rhett McBride on the radio right now, currently, Dakota, saying he's 10 laps to the good. And he's going to have to come down pit road, so he's basically 10 laps of fuel left, not to the good, but 10 laps left, Dakota.
Yeah, that gap is getting a lot closer. That pit window is getting extremely close. And Adam, we've heard you laughing down there. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I heard 10 laps to the good, and I was thinking to myself, man, I must have made a bad prediction if I if he's 10 laps to the good. But no, I think Keaton clarified himself. He's got 10 laps left. Everyone's going to have to come down pit road at least one more time.
And here they come, starting with C.J. LeVere down pit road. He's going to get slowed up to 55 miles an hour. The 29 machine also being able to slow up just before the commitment cone there. No speed penalty for him, but the man that I'm looking at looks to be the Jose Gonzalez, who might have been caught speeding, but so far so good as they start to exit into their pit boxes.
Right side Jacob, number 26 of Jose Gonzalez. He actually did not get a speeding penalty, at least not in, because it wouldn't count as lap time. 2 tires, right side, up and away. He's out of the pits.
Yeah, the 12 Douglas White came down with his partner, and they both took fuel only, no tires, and they're away.
And I went back to look at Jose Gonzalez entering pit road. Right below the line, he was 56, 55, and I'm looking at it slow motion, extremely slow motion. He is underneath 54 miles an hour at the line, so Jose Gonzalez will be good. No speeding penalty coming into pit road there, Michael Keaton.
Couple of guys still out on the racetrack, have not pitted yet. One of those being Clint Monahan, who's currently passing John Abbott on the inside, going down the backstretch, hooked up with Nicholas Silver. Then you got another tandem group back there, the 44 of Glenn Campbell hooked up with the 15 of Brian Lovingood, who's running fourth, and of course 84 machine up on the outside right there, Jimmy North a couple of laps down, and the 99 now working underneath. So leaders still not pitted yet, but the 92 and the 50 working the calculator.
As we're waiting on everybody to come down pit road here still, the final leaders to see how everything shakes out. Still, Clint Monahan up front with Nick Silver all over that bumper. Looks like they're making up pretty good ground though, but how about Jimmy North, the 84, working the outside all by himself. He does have Eric Arnold behind, but Arnold backed off quite a bit now as they go backwards in a hurry on the outside with no help.
Going to talk about Brian Lovingood, who's currently running fourth right now in that 15 blue low-range Chevrolet. Ray Marine on the front of that machine as he rockets down the front stretch. Brian Lovingood, the man out of Winnebago, North Carolina, part of the BRB Motorsports racing team, racing since June of 2012, so not too long into the game. Was totally surprised that he was able to compete as well as he did in his first season with the RSR Series, getting a top 10 finish in the points, and he hopes to get a win this season. That's what he's looking for. That's his goal. To also finish in the top 5 of the championship. Nicknamed Dubs, using the Logitech G27, also one of those Oboto Ozone 3 cockpit seats there, if you will, Dakota. Running in the 4th position as he's starting to work possibly his calculator and calculations of coming down pit road.
Yeah, we know it should be rather soon here as now they go by another slow car on the outside. I believe that would be I want to say the 27 of J. Randall Watkins.
You know, it's really going to be about who spends the least time on pit road, Dakota, when they come down these green flag pit stops. So crucial. You know, we talked about getting on the pit road. You want to try to maintain as much speed as possible, getting off of turn 4, coming down into the commitment cone, but get woed up in 55 miles an hour. We saw Jose pretty much thread the needle with that one. And then, of course, the pit stop. Up to the crew there to get the car off the jack, the fuel in the tank, and then off pit road. That's the crucial part as well.
And it's not quite about one individual car. I mean, you got to have somebody with you, or you will lose time. So I mean, if you do a fantastic job on pit road, and the guy behind you, or the closest car to you coming off pit road is back exiting the pits when you're going through turn 1, maybe on the apron or something of the sort, you're gonna like run away from them and have no help, and that can make you look bad because you're gonna go backwards in a hurry with no help, and you'll probably end up way in the back of the field once they catch you.
Another thing to point out, Dakota, that the longer you stay out on the racetrack in the green flag conditions and use the fuel that you got in the car, the less fuel needed, which means less time on pit road. And this late into a race, you come down pit road, you might take right sides, you may not, you may just put enough fuel in there. They're working the calculators now, crew chiefs on these cars, working every ounce of the calculator as possible to make sure they put enough fuel in the tank to get them to the finish. As they're coming down pit road this time, we're hearing.
You're going to have to wait and see as they're working through turns 1 and 2. I do believe Monahan still with the lead, Silver in second. Glenn Campbell sitting third, and the 15. I keep wanting to call him Mike Alexander, but it's actually Brian Lovigood. Mike Alexander actually, I believe, is Maritime iRacing League on Wednesday nights, right, Keaton?
Absolutely, and Mike Alexander, tough break for him last night in the MIRL League with Tim Terry's crew out of Eastern Canada. As we may start to see some pit stops unfold here as they exit turn 4. Monahan looking like he's not going to come down this time.
Yeah, a few cars coming back at the rear of the pack there, and I believe it's 2 of them, Jason Lester and Bo McGuire. Okay.
Yeah, Bo McGuire comes in. He's taking only 13 gallons of gas, no tires, and it's him and his teammate coming in. I'm going to sit to the other side to Adam.
Same thing for Jason Lester, 13 gallons of gas. He's out and away. He's coming out a little bit of a distance behind his teammate, but they'll close it up as he gets up to 55 miles an hour. They're both off pit road, back on the racetrack.
You know, Dakota, that's another thing, too, that I forgot to mention. You know, it's not about just you.
And Adam Gilliland, here the leaders coming to pit road.
Clint Monahan, your race leader, comes on down pit road, 55 miles an hour at the commitment line right there. Most of the remaining leaders came down with him, as the usual case what happens when the leader comes down pit road. It's going to be 14 gallons for the number 1 machine of Clint Monahan. No tires is the call for the number 1. Gassing it up. He's out and away.
Yeah, his partner, the number 30 car of Nick Silver, he took fuel only, no tires, so he could keep up with the leader, and he's away as well.
Man, I tell you, look at Matthew Long. He's going to be there all by his lonesome self as the 2 that pitted with him, Nicholas Silver and the 1 of Monahan, start to exit into turn 2 there, and Matthew Long, the man who was quickest in practice, is going to be all lonesome here without a drafting partner, Dakota.
Yeah, and that's dangerous territory. You can lose a lot of time that way. But how about who cycled up to the lead after being crashed out earlier?
David Lanza.
Yeah, not quite David Lanza, his teammate though. I think it's his teammate. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But Chad Cole, 21 car.
Also Brian Harvey, I see now working underneath Chad Cole. Of course, Brian Harvey out of San Diego, California, working up the high side of the 22 machine that you see down low there. John Milwain, a couple laps down, but Brian Harvey, out of California, part of that Fearless Racing team. 45 years of age, still getting it done here tonight, using the 24-inch monitor on a sturdy desktop. 13 years of sim racing.
Here in the 54 was speeding on pit road. Frank Coons will have to come back through, I do believe, or he was either held or had to come back through. I'm not quite sure which one.
Still green flag racing here, Dakota. 63 laps complete on the board. You're watching ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network. The RSR Asphalt Assault Series, and the 81 machine is wrecking on the racetrack. Alan?
81 had trouble.
I think it's going to be alright. He's just going to have to drive away. He is dog tracking bad. That car is destroyed right now. But while the 81 drives on the apron, trying to stay out of harm's way, and the field still runs under green flag conditions, we will step away, take a quick commercial break. Again, this is ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard-driving radio. Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we're back live at Daytona International Speedway where Brian Harvey is switching with Chad Cole to take over the lead. But back here, and John Wesley, just want to throw him a shout out, doing a fantastic job on the cameras as always, and running the show. But Michael Keaton,
yeah,
how about this race?
You know, absolutely, and of course, too, Dakota, you got to throw out a shout out to the man who just got out of the UCLA hospital, I believe it was, J.D. Webb, crucial part of ETV's business, and of course we know JD's at home now recovering from surgery, heart surgery, and we know he's watching, tuning in on his iPad. I know he is. Making us proud, JD. We wish you the best. Can't wait for your full recovery and where we can start to talk with you on the radio channel more often. Of course, JD Webb always doing a fine job of making sure that we're always have the information that we need, Dakota.
Yeah, you know, if I forget something, he's still on my case.
Yeah, I know he's watching on his iPad, taking notes. I can't wait to get the email. But no, JD he's what kind of molds us together. You know, I think John carves us like an ice sculptor, but JD puts the glue in there and he holds us all together. I believe JD's like the granddad of us all, and of course he is the granddad of Dalton, England, and others who work for ETV. And, you know, of course, any of this couldn't be done without the trucks, right, Dakota? And, of course, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Dude, if your pickup truck is too small for the load, get a real truck to haul it. Sponsoring drivers in several iRacing official series, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated provides long and short haul options for hauling furniture, perishable items, and even refrigerated products, and a whole lot more. With storage facilities in the United States and Canada, CTPAT approved, and fast express drivers, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the best choice to haul your load. Give the old pickup a rest and call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated at 800-668-2980, or check them out on the World Wide Web at gmercer.com.
And going to throw it down to Josh Harbison and Adam Gill, and we had people coming down pit road.
Jose Gonzalez, the man running 13th position, brings out the caution. And Dakota, he took one hard lick to the outside wall at Daytona International Speedway in turn 3 as the 69 of Augusto Galadano got into him. Augusto might have gotten into the left rear quarter panel, the 99 of Matthew Long, and that's what started this chain reaction, and Jose, not a happy camper.
I bet he's not. I mean, there was, I believe it was a lap car that came down in front of them, made them move up, and then when they moved up, he moved up and wrecked them. I would be a little upset about that too.
Of course, latest on Augusto is that he has pulled the machine down into the garage area as caution has waved out on the racetrack. Overcooked in the draft, I tell you, Dakota. Tough break.
And I think Chad Cole, And Brian Harvey might maintain the lead here. This is ironic. Chad Cole, Brian Harvey staying out as long as they can, now maintain the lead with 10 laps remaining under caution here.
And there we go, Campbell. Campbell been complaining all race long for the last 10 laps. Jason Campbell, motor, finally blowing the crankcase.
Well, there's one car that needs a Gary Mercer truck to haul his car away from the racetrack, and there's a few others that have wrecked out, and it won't be the last one. I know the 26, Jose Gonzalez, definitely needs one, the way his car is destroyed. And going to go ahead and we're going to do a lap of silence here at Daytona International Speedway, kind of like a moment of silence in honor of J.D. Webb, and wishing him the best recovery and a fast recovery at that. Alright, and again, still wishing him the best recovery, and hoping to hear from him again soon here, as I know he is at home. Again, he did get to leave the medical center, and he is at home resting, and I believe he has watched the broadcast, and really look forward to having him back here at ETV Live.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Dakota, as this race starts to progress here, I believe we've seen everyone pit. Chad Cole leading the race currently. Brian Harvey second, Nicholas Silver third, Clint Monahan fourth, Stephen Marinac running the fifth position, Brian Lovingood in that 15 Chevrolet running sixth. The 23 machine of Jason Patterson, newcomer to the league, I believe, running seventh. Eric Brundies, a man that's also unfamiliar territory here with the Asphalt Assault Series, running eighth, and Bo McGuire in that 50 Chevrolet up into the ninth position. And of course, 92 machine we've seen running up front earlier on, Jason Lester, running in that top 10 spot.
I'll tell you what, I believe Adams caught up and got the radio hooked up with Clint Monahan, his little buddy there.
Yeah, we've got Clint Monahan in the booth right now. He's had a very strong car this whole race. Talk about how the race has gone for you, Clint.
Well, at first I was just trying to avoid wrecks. There was one wreck. The first caution started right behind me, and then the next caution was, I don't know, the guy just pulled left, and that was right in front of me. So I figured after that, stay out front. I was either going to be out front or stay out back, and once I was out front, I was pretty happy where I was and not having to, I could calm down leading.
Talk about the pit strategy you've had to use this race. You've only had to pit when you've needed to, correct?
Yeah, I had 2 laps left when Nick and I had to pit. I think he had like 3 more, but he PM'd me, said he was going to pit with me, so I was probably messaging him how many gallons to take and what lap we were pitting, so he was ready. And we're going to be perfect. Well, we were going to be perfect on gas until the caution came out.
Well, communication's always key in these restrictor plate races. You were my pick tonight. Hopefully you get the job done for me. Talk about who makes it happen for you.
Makes it happen for me. AT&T gives me internet. I make it happen for me. I built my computer, so, and I love my puppies.
Well, there you have it, Clint Monahan. I believe we're 1 to green. We're not 1 to green. I'm going to send it over to Dakota.
Yeah, that was intriguing. That's what we haven't heard before. AT&T, myself, and my puppies. I think when I said himself, I mean he built the computer. Oh, the conversations we have privately off air. They're kind of hilarious. Wish some people could hear them, or you know. And John Westling said that he wished he could put together a bloopers reel for ETV Live. It would probably be very, very entertaining. But how about John Eller's 41 machine going to get the lucky dog 18th position as he's going to come around the pace car, and looks like he's wanting to go down pit road. That will cancel out the lucky dog. He's going to see what he does here, and he is. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Oh, it was an EOL penalty. That was not the lucky dog. Excuse me. Yeah, he was waved around. He's going to get another EOL to go to the rear of the field. Excuse me there. We got that.
Of course, John, nicknamed the chef of the RSR Asphalt Assault TV series, the 44-year-old out of Alameda, California, for the Black and Blue Motorsports Racing Team. Sim racing since 1999, before you were born, Dakota, with Papper's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Favorite sims is iRacing and NASCAR Racing 2003, sporting the GT Omega wheel stand. Also a 40-inch Sony Bravia LCD with the DSD Black Max 2 and the DSD GT shifter and a wheelchair.
Keaton, I think I'm going to blow your mind here, but I was alive then.
Absolutely. You know, 1999, man. I tell you that was the day of sim racing, man. I vaguely remember the 90s, but you know, he's been around for a while. The old chef there in the 41, John Ehlers, 44 years of age. John Abbott sent me a message the other day and said that he is now not the oldest in the league of real sim racing world. And I don't think John Ehlers is the oldest, but I believe there's a 60-year-old, if I'm not mistaken, Dakota, that races in the league.
Couldn't tell you, but lucky dog was not Hunter Davis. Lucky dog was John Ehlers. He was given 2 by the officials, so they just come down pit road the second time to cancel the second one. So John Ehlers only getting 1 lap back, and Ehlers will be, I believe, I'm looking at this, he might be on the lead lap. He is on the lead lap in 9th position in the 41 car. So Ehlers is the lucky dog, or was the lucky dog, as the field gets set, they're working through the front stretch, getting set to take the green flag. Chad Cole up front with a damaged race car. It did damage it earlier, and an earlier crash up front for the lead with Eric Arnold involved, and pace car is off. He gets set to take the green flag. Green flag is out. There goes Chad Cole with a pretty good jump, but he's going to have help from Silver on the inside, while we have the 67 on the outside with help from the 1 of Monahan. That's Brian Harvey on the 67.
Here we go, baby. Get your dancing partner and get to swinging her round and round. 5 laps. Next time by, we'll have to go here at the Daytona International Speedway. Chad Cole leading on the 29, Stefan Marinac behind him. 30 machine Nicholas Silver trying to get a help from 67 Brian Harvey. He's finally on the back doors now. Brian Lovingood working underneath on the backstretch.
They have 4 cars pushing on the outside. They made a little contact, and things got a little squirrely up there. It kind of got a little difficult, I would say, as they kind of slowed down a little bit due to it, I want to say. But how about the 29, Stephen Marinac in second position, kind of hanging around?
There you go. I mean, you got to be there to win, Dakota. And any spot where these guys are that you see, like back here where Rick McBride is in the 13th position in the 38 machine, I mean, even he can win this race. There's 5 laps to go now as the flagman just put the 5 in the air. And now, Brett McBride back in 13th position, going to try to work that Chevrolet up through the field, but they're too wide down in the turn 2, Dakota.
Yes, here's somebody in the wall somewhere. I'll tell you, where's the place you want to be at right now?
I want to be high and mighty on that 29 machine now as Brian Lovingood pushing him around. Chad Cole for the lead in turn 3.
I think you want to be the 29 or you want to be the 21, depending on who. Oh, it's going to be the 29. 29 might win this. I mean, we're going to have 4 to go at the line with the caution out.
It looked like Nicholas Silver gave Brian Lovingood just a little love tap to the left rear, almost pushing the quarter panel there, and that might have sent the 15 around in what would be the big one here tonight at Daytona.
Yeah, watching this, looks like Silver, it gets on the bumper, it clips him wrong, and a little bit of neck could maybe involved. It'll send him down into the 21. The 21 will come up and spin the 15 of, I believe it's Harvey, or Brian Lovingood, and then also getting involved would be the 50 car of Bo McBride, I believe.
And I believe that's going to do it, is Stefan Marinak, the man out of Florida, the 29 machine, the man who came all the way from downtown, 34th position to start the race, and he's going to bring home the #1 victory here tonight in the Daytona, race #1 of a long 36-week season, Dakota. Daytona, I mean, what a better track to win here tonight.
By the way, it was Bo McGuire. I did get the last name wrong there. But yeah, what a track to win at. It was Mike Montesi Monday night winning at Daytona International Speedway for Real Sim Racing in the Full Throttle Cup Series. And now it's going to be Stephen Marinak.
It's like possibly Chad Cole's going to come out in second out of all this. He's right behind the leader, Stefan Marinak. Of course, this is unofficial. Lap 78 this time by will be complete, which means 3 to go. Nicholas Silver being shown in the 3rd position currently. Brian Lovingood starting to make his way back up into the 4th position. Now he goes under Silver, which may put him into 3rd here at the line. And it looks like Brian Lovingood with the beat-up race car is going to finish 3rd.
How about Dwayne Vincent wasn't in the field. C.J. Lavera was. C.J. Lavera finished in 26. Those two were 1 and 2. Dwayne Vincent actually winning Tuesday night with ETV the Series. So it was the same car, just maybe different timing. It was a night track, unfortunately, so there was a little bit difference in track and setup, I do believe. But this is how random Daytona is. I mean, 2 guys that, well, at least one of them that's in the race. I mean, he performed well early in the race, but I mean, he's going to finish in the back as to where he finished 2nd in Tuesday night's event.
Of course, Dakota, it looks official. The pace car lights are still on. Just to give you a top 10 rundown here real quick, Stefan Marinak going to pick up the victory here tonight. Chad Cole 2nd, Brian Lovingood 3rd, Nick Silver 4th. Matthew Long, the fastest in practice, going to round out the top 5. Rhett McBride finishes 6th tonight. Clint Monahan, who led a couple of laps here earlier on, the 1 car, going to finish 7th. Bo McGuire going to bring that victory Chevrolet into 8th position tonight. Jason Patterson in the 23 sporting the Michael Jordan number finishes 9th tonight. And 10th belonged to 63 of White Wolf Jr., part of the White Wolf Motorsports gang. Of course, we wish also White Wolf Sr. a speedy recovery as White Wolf finishes 10th. But Dakota, Stefan's here. Marinak wins at Daytona.
Yeah, Mr. Marinak, you're pacing, and do you believe this race is over? I think the race is over, correct?
Hoping and praying. I don't know. If we don't get 2 to go this time, we should be good.
What was going through your mind? I mean, that last one when you went to the outside, you had a lot of help, but they all crashed in your mirror. What was going through your mind?
Well, I knew I had to get up to the lead before the crash happened, and I knew the crash was going to happen. There were a ton tonight, so the 15 said he was going to work with me. So as soon as he got clear, I pulled to the outside, and he pushed me through there.
And now, are you excited currently right now, or are you kind of disappointed because you just crossed the line? What's the call?
Looks like I'll be the winner. I'm pretty happy.
There you go, Marinak. Who put this all together for you?
I just got to thank my teammates at Fearless Racing. They helped me all night. They got me up there. And I just got to thank RSR. This is going to be a fun series if we cut out these crashes. And I think that's about it.
And I've got one more question for you. Can we rename you Mr. Where did he come from? Because you kind of showed a little bit of strength early at some points in the race, but it kind of came out of nowhere really at the end here.
Yeah, you can call me that. My name, it's known for being butchered, so I'd rather you call me that than my real name, I guess.
All right, Mr. Marinak, and we wish you a happy celebration in Victory Lane here later.
All right, thanks, guys.
And that was
disappointing news, Dakota, for the man 15 car, Brian Lovingood. But of course, we'll take this opportunity to step aside and hopefully come back with a second place interview of Chad Cole, and we'll find out word on Brian Lovingood's status at the line. With 1 to go, he was in 3rd position, but the motor in that Chevrolet has blown up, and it looks like Nicholas Silver will take home that 3rd spot. But when we return to RSR Asphalt Assault TV series. You're watching ATV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
And we're back live at Daytona International Speedway. Closing out here as the drivers cross the line. We do have Chad Cole on the radio finishing a strong second place. Chad, man, you got wrecked multiple times, but you were still there. You were still able to cover the second position. Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, it ain't pretty, but we did it somehow. Yeah, I think the 24 and 47 were trying to make a switch, and one tagged the other, and that was how I got a piece of that. Luckily, it didn't have too much damage. It did feel like the wheel was pretty far cockeyed, though, but we still had good speed, and was able to work with Brian Harvey there, and we were really making some good moves to the pack, had a good pit stop, and actually timing in the caution was pretty much perfect, so we kept the lead there, and I was able to, felt like got away pretty good on the restart. But Stefan got a run on me. He had a couple teammates behind him, I think, and that is about all she wrote for me.
And how about this not even being a series you don't even run full time in?
Yeah. I posted in the forums that I'm available for subbing, and Matt Lacrosse right off the bat, he couldn't make it tonight, so I guess I got to thank him for having to be stuck at work.
Yeah, and Matt actually able to get on and join us there at the end of the broadcast, saying a big thank you when he wanted sent out to you for the fantastic job you did in finishing second tonight. Gonna go ahead and let you throw a shout out to your sponsors and whatnot.
Yeah, I gotta thank the boys back at the Team Man-Child Racing Motorsports Incorporated shop for the great cars they put together, and hippiespaintshop.com. If you need a new Gen 6 painted, go to hippiespaintshop.com. It'll hook you up real nice.
Alright, now you have it from your second place finisher tonight. Coming up a little short, but going to go ahead and pass it down to Michael Keaton, who's standing by with Nick Silver.
The 21-year-old out of Santa Maria, California, getting it done in the sponsored Heineken Discovered Card Chevrolet of Silver Racing Team. Nicholas Silver, 5th fastest in qualifying, 4th quickest in practice, and you brought it home 3rd, sir. Good luck, or good job tonight.
Thank you.
And a little good luck, right, Nick? let's be honest. Good luck to get that third spot where the 15 of Brian Lovingood blew up in front of you.
Definitely. I was a little disappointed to see him go in front of me there when the caution came out, but you know, it worked itself out. I hate to see that happen to him, though. Got to thank the #1 car of Clint. We were really working hard there. A little disappointed we couldn't get the win. I thought me and him were definitely the cars to beat there for a while. And basically, the plan tonight was stay up front and stay out of trouble, and seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, we saw much the whole night, Nick, you know, in that 30 machine running up front there. And then towards the end, again, you know, you stuck your nose in there where you needed to and got home third tonight. Let's talk about championship potential here. I know we're early on. This is the first race of the year, Daytona International. Get out of here, but you come out with a third-place finish, and then you go into Phoenix with high hopes or low hopes, Nick?
High hopes. I've been doing the official iRacing races this week, and seems like I got a fast car there. I think I can really show them something next week. And Daytona, you know, kind of a throwaway race, being the first race of the season, you know, so not too disappointed if something bad happens, but it's definitely a huge boost if you're able to somehow get a top 5 out of it.
And last but not least, Nick, for the 2013 RSR Assault TV series that's presented by Inside ATV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network, who's going to make it happen for you all year long?
Well, got to thank my sponsor, new sponsor this season, Discover Card. Got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, RSR for the series, and you know, got to look for some help this season.
There you have it, folks, from the man, Nick Silver, out of California, finishing third tonight. Again, Chad Cole in the 21 machine filling in for Matt Lacrosse, taking home the second place. And then the 29 Chevrolet Stefan Marinac bringing home the victory in the first race of the season, a 36-weeker that the RSR Assault TV series every Thursday night. Putting on a good show tonight at Daytona. Next week we'll head to Phoenix. And for me and the crew at ATV Live, we'll see you next week.